Right. Oh, is that loud? That could be loud. Let me set this up to be a bit better. Hello and good afternoon. I think that this is okay. If anybody is in chat, can you just confirm that the sound is decent? I'm not too quiet nor too loud. It's a tradition here that we check out the sound. Hey Dennis, hi. Is my sound okay? Too loud? Too soft? Sound good? Perfect. Well, welcome to the third edition of this streaming series where we code, or I call this streams Let's Code, where I code CloudFormation together with you guys live. So what we are trying to do is build a CI/CD pipeline together with some application in the backend. So we opted in to do container-based application. So one of the things we did this is actually the third episode, and one of the things that we did so far is create a pipeline. First, we did all the basic CI/CD stuff. We created an ECS cluster with all the containers, well, with all the elements, and then now today we need to kind of tie it all together to make sure it works. Now, if you have not seen the stream before, the stream is very much disorganized in a sense that I have not prepared anything for this stream. Literally, I haven't touched the code since last Friday, so it's very raw. I'm gonna be probably reading documentation, doing a whole bunch of different things. So if you're into that, welcome. If you're not, I'm gonna leave the video on YouTube later on, so you can check out the highlights or anything potential that's interesting. And if you're interested in the rest of the story, the other videos are actually available on YouTube as well. So let me get myself connected. I want to just make sure that everything was on my end. I want to make sure to enable my sound. Okay, cool. I can hear myself now. What I need, connect the keyboard. Okay, hello. Hey, Strachnia, hello. Which is the one? It's this one. Is it this one? It's this one. Excellent. Okay, mouse needs to be set up in that way. That. Nope. That one. I'm using the same mouse and keyboard for both things, so a lot of switching about. Is my keyboard configured properly? So this is set up. Not. Now. Come on. Okay, excellent. Perfect, this works. So let's open up the terminal. This is the first thing we need to set up a terminal thing. Full screen, clear up. Just move all of this, tmax. Okay, few things we need to get. We actually first of all need to see what have we done. I really don't know what is it that we have done last time. Where have we stopped? I have not taken the time to check it out, but let's have a look at our code. Streams, is it here? It should be CFN something. Yes, CI/CD fun. Perfect. So we have a template and we have a Docker application. Yes, that's what we did last time. So let's open up our template and see where we at. Also, I think this template is already launched, so let me open up Google Chrome. And I want to log in to AWS, but I need to do something. Also, one of the things I've noticed is I've been playing the same music in the background for the last how many months. So I am on the lookout to change that royalty-free music to find something potentially better. Perfect. Cool. So let's have a look what we have created last time. Let's go to, where is it? CloudFormation. Oh, there's a bunch of things here. Oh, that's weird. Okay, this is CFN Stream Stack 05. It has the 05 name because we've tried it a bunch of times, and yeah. So let's see what do we have right now. So here we have a bunch of things. We have a code pipeline, an S3 bucket for artifacts. Oh, we created a VPC, we created a code build, we have a bunch of roles, code deployment, ECR repositories, IAM roles, services, cluster, internet gateway, load balancers. Okay, cool. So how is this gonna look? So one of the important things we have here is we have a code commit repository. So we have a full-on pipeline, and I think the best way to look at this is actually on code pipeline. So we have a pipeline here that has failed. Of course, it has failed because there's nothing in code commit. But in essence, we have a code commit repository where we're gonna submit our application. We have code build, and code build is actually gonna build our Docker image. It's gonna create our Docker image from the Docker file and the application file we have. Then it's gonna upload it to ECR. Then the last deploy action is actually gonna deploy to ECS. So I think the first thing we need to change is the deploy action, because our current code deploy action is code deploy to a Lambda function. That was our initial thing that we're gonna do, but we're gonna do this a bit differently right now. So back to this thing, let's find code deploy. Okay, code deploy application. So come on, find something new. Come on, exit. Thank you. So deployment group, deployment application. Okay, compute platform. Now this, I believe, if I recall correctly, AWS Cloud. Back to the documentation again. Code deploy application. The compute platform can be ECS. This is something we're going to be doing. So let's go to ECS. Perfect. Okay, deployment groups. Let's see how do we configure deployment groups right now. Deployment group. What does it say? There's a few things I really want to check out. Deployment config name. Okay. Working with deployment configurations. Let's have a look. So these are... Okay, what kind of... Okay, deployments to Amazon ECS. Linear 10% every 10 minutes. Canary. I want to do blue-green. Why not? So how do you do deployment configurations to for AWS CloudFormation for blue-green deployments to Amazon ECS? So blue-green deployments, if you are not aware of, blue-green deployments are a way of deploying your code in a blue-green style. What happens? Another set of containers, in this case, is launched with the new version of your application, and those containers are being basically, while they're deployed, your old ones are still serving traffic. That afterwards they're just switching traffic between the two. So is there something I need to do? Some specific name of the code deploy thingy? How can I do? Oh, I need to create 2 target groups. Interesting. So blue-green deployments through CodeDeploy using CloudFormation. Oh, it's a great example here we can use. So see, it's very interesting. We need to do things a bit differently here. To enable CloudFormation to perform blue-green deployments on a stack, include the following information in the stack template. A transform section that invokes the code blue-green deployment, as well as a hook section that invokes AWS CodeDeploy blue-green hook. At least one of the ECS resources that will trigger blue-green deployment to a stack update. Those aware of task definition and ECS task set. Okay. Is there a nice example how this looks? transform. That's okay. There's a hook. Wow, this is more complex than I thought. See, maybe I could have just copy and paste this, but no. Let's have a look. What does it have? Parameters, hooks. Okay, so this is the hook is important. CodeDeploy blue-green hook. ECS service applications. Interesting. So this is going a bit more advanced than usual. Target group. Okay, so I need 2 target groups. Load balancer. Was it listener rule, execution role, task definition, blue task set. Is it just bring blue things? Okay. Primary task. Okay. This would require a lot of rewrites. Let's ignore blue-green. Let's do it linearly. I think if we were to do blue-green right now, it would require a lot of us to go, a lot of things to roll back. So I think we're gonna be doing this thing, ECS. So we're gonna do all at once. Why not? So let's change this thing to, where is it? Deployment config name should be CodeDeploy ECS all at once. Perfect. Deployment style. What is the deployment style? In place. I'll do in place. So what does it say here? CloudFormation supports blue-green deployment on ECS Cloud platforms only. Interesting. Refresh about deploying ECS complete. What is it? I'm gonna do in place. And traffic control. What did we specify with traffic control? Okay, I'm gonna do with traffic control. That should be fine. That's good. Now, do I have to define? How do I define a target group? Deployment group. Okay, so deployment group. And where is the thing I need to deploy to? Where is it? So deployment style, EC2 tag filters, load balancer info, premises set, service role, trigger. Rollbacks, load balancer. Hey, can here. Well, so the way I approach these things is actually I take those examples and they're massive, right? Now they can seem quite daunting at first. You know, you grab it and you're like, wow, there's a lot of things. But one of the things I found very useful, you just take the example, paste it into your template, and find the things you need and don't need. Because here's the thing: most of the things in the example are not required. If you would boil down the requirements here, what you need for this, what are the required parameters, they're very few. So like the application is required, and let's have a look here. Is there anything else that's required besides application? Everything seems like a no. Okay, service role is required, and that's it. Basically application and service role. So you go building on from that. Now, I look at examples and they kind of serve me they serve a boilerplate for me. Just bring it in and then maybe change it as I go along. But yeah, you're correct. They can seem a bit daunting. And that's why, so if you're starting with infrastructure as code and have no prior knowledge to any IIC tooling out there, maybe you can start up with CDK, right? CDK is definitely more friendly because to create a pipeline in CDK, I've actually, after my first stream, I went into to create like a pipeline on CDK just to see how long it takes. It took me like 20 minutes to do it, right? It literally just, even less, even without looking too much into the documentation, it took me so much little time. So it's a bit more friendlier to do it in CDK or even Troposphere, right? I want to see something here. Is there a great example? Pretty much complex how to do this on an ECS application, because there's a lot of things you need to understand here. Now I'm looking just for a clean example how to deploy this to an ECS group, because I can point it to instances, but let's find out. So CloudFormation, CodeDeploy. This is the blue-green, but okay, so it's a tight tutorial, code deployment, that's fine. Create code deploy application and deployment group. Okay, let's see, let's have a look. Yeah, so what Dennis says, with CloudFormation you have to configure every last thing, so it seems very daunting when you do it with CloudFormation. There's a lot of different things you need to do, like you see me doing all these things, specifying the littlest of details, and can be a bit daunting when you look at it that way. So I need to deploy ELB info. That's true, and that's why I really chosen to why I picked to use CloudFormation first, because it kind of makes me understand everything underneath, right? ELB info, like that. And just name, right? What is the name? Blue-green. So name, and I will just ref my load balancer. Where is my load balancer? So many things here. My load balancer. Would this be sufficient? Okay, let me try to actually now go and CFN length this thing. Will this work? No, ELB info, properties info, did I do it wrongly? ELB info, deployment group, ELB, oh no, load balancer info, wow. Okay, what is ELB info then? I agree. Yeah, CDK is definitely like magic when you do hand forging your stuff with CloudFormation. Actually, let me give you an example. So, if you recall, last time I've created a VPC. So my VPC is from line 297 to line 379, right? That's a lot of lines. There's a lot of things I need to do on my VPC. But if I go to, oh, do I have something? Workspace, streams. Ooh, do I have anything on this side? CDK testing. I'm not sure if I have anything here. EC2 instance star cloud TS. No, I don't. I create my VPC somewhere else. Where is it? I think it's EIC. Yeah. So, and this is basically what you need to create a VPC, right? You need a single line to create a VPC in CDK, and that's it. Nothing else. So it will create all the things you need for a VPC. Much more, let's say, approachable when it comes to this. But again, it feels like cheating. Literally feels like cheating. You know, like replace 150 lines of code with a single one. But again, you get to define. You can define all these things in CDK. Don't get me wrong. You just don't have to. So that's the thing. So it's not ELB info. It's something else. So deployment group, load balancer info. Okay, and then it's, what is it? ELB info list. I love the fact that we're using arrays here, but adding one more load balancer to the array is not supported. That's called forward thinking and legacy, understanding of your APIs. So we use, is there an example? No. So we need to do this. It's called ELB info list. ELB. Like that, and I think it should look like this, I think. No, I may be wrong. So no, okay, better. No, this. I'm gonna be using target group info list. So this one, and then it's not my load balancer, it's my target group. My target group. Okay. I think this is all the thing I need. Yeah. Okay. This seems like it should work. Maybe it works. So let's do AWS CloudFormation deploy. Let's try it out. go back to this. And one of the things I also found myself while doing this stream is I learn things from here. Like, I have experience with CloudFormation and I've done a lot of things, but if you don't use CloudFormation on a day-to-day basis, you just forget things. And I get to understand why is this update to resource type of CodeDeploy application is not supported. Wow, really? Okay, we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna delete stuff. Also, by the way, if you're interested in CDK and in CloudFormation, so CDK supports CloudFormation constructs. Literally, you can define exact CloudFormation resources in the exact same parameter scope or property scope you have on CloudFormation. You can do the same thing in CDK. Basically, they're just prefixed with CFN and then the resource name. So even if like there's not a supported construct on CDK, but it is supported in CloudFormation, you can easily do that. So the CDK is very flexible on that one. So next Let's Code stream series is going to be definitely on the topic of CDK. So it should be fun. Okay, well, this is deleting. I'm actually now deleting everything because apparently application cannot be updated, and because I've changed the application type completely from Lambda to ECS now, it has a problem. So it doesn't even delete it; it just doesn't update it. So there's weirdness with CloudFormation in this, but okay, I'll try to figure it out. And these are the things I really don't know. I have not played around with it enough to know these things from the top of my head, but I at least get to learn them like this with you. So maybe next time we do the whole blue-green thing with ECS, but that's a next time. That's a next time solution. I'm gonna wait for this to delete. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna create an app spec file and a build spec file. Now let me find CodeDeploy ECR Docker build. So we're gonna use CodeDeploy. Sorry, not CodeDeploy, CodeBuild. We're gonna use CodeBuild to deploy containers to ECR. So here's an example. Okay, we need to do some permissions there as well. That's fine. That's all good. I want to find a build spec file. So this is the build spec file. The build spec file is basically a YAML file contained within your application root directory or wherever in your application, where you define basically your build steps. Now those build steps can be anything. Literally, they don't have to, you don't build anything per se. Here what I'm doing, I'm building a Docker image and I'm uploading it to my ECR repository. So let's take this example here and let's build on top of it while this thing is deleting. Let's see, is it still deleting? It's done. Okay, wait, then let me just do the deploy. Cool. Now hopefully it will deploy successfully. I don't know if it will or not. It's it can be interesting. Roll back. There we go. Something failed. What? Why did you fail? What's wrong? Like last time, buckets are the problem. Yeah. It's the bucket. And what's the name of the bucket? I forgot. It's the artifact bucket. CFN stream artifact bucket. Okay. CFN. Oh. Yes. Artifact. Okay. Delete. Good. Now I can try to do it again. Oh, has this rolled back? It has. Delete, delete, Now, try me. Yeah. The thing is, one of the things I could have done, I could have ignored, or create like a dummy name. But yeah, it could lead to a lot of problems, right? Creative not exist. Then you are basically, force flag to create or delete. Now, again, yeah, I could have set it up to delete my S3 buckets if I wanted to. Like when I delete the stack, to delete my S3 bucket as well. But that's a problem, right? You really don't want to do that, because S3 buckets are where your persistent data is. No matter what you're doing, that should be the place where your persistent data is. And if you delete your persistent data, that can be a problem. So okay, rollback in progress. Wow, this has been an adventure. Create, okay. ECS deployment, EC2 file fields cannot be specified. Okay. Aha. ECS. No. Deploy. I have EC2 tag filters. I don't have EC2 tag filters. Cannot be. Does anybody see EC2 tag filters? Yeah, dry run. Now, the problem with the dry run, Khalid, is it's very difficult to test things out on CloudFormation before actually trying to deploy things. Now, CF and NAG will help you. It will test. You can do a dry run, but it basically just validates your template, and that's it. It doesn't test if it's actually deployable or not, right? Application name. EC2 tag filters. I did not specify that. Did I? No, I didn't. Deployment group. Am I insane? Code deployment group. Application name, deployment config name, that's fine. Deployment style in place with traffic control. Service role ARN is that one. Load balancer info, target group, info list. And that's it. Why are you angry at me using EC2 tag filters? Invalid EC2 tag filter. I'm not using EC2 tag filters, buddy. You can have a look at your template here as well, just to make sure it's all good. Let's open it up in Designer. Last time somebody suggested we open this in Designer and check it out there, because the Designer has the ability to do validation. But my template is fine, right? From that perspective, it's fine. If I do that, it will say template is valid. That's okay. So, am I missing something? Yeah, CFNAG just checks against the spec. Is your template okay? And again, it's sometimes flaky on what it actually does. So yeah, it's interesting. Category deploy, code deploy, application name, deployment rule, provider, code deploy, or action, all good. ECS web app. Is it? Oh, it's service. Sorry. Where are you? These are the roles. deployment group. Okay, in place, traffic control. I think one of these options actually is implying that I'm using EC2 target groups. Deployment types. Let's see. Deployment config or deployment, right? Deployment. No. I need a deployment config name. Deployment style. Did I do with traffic control? Yes, with traffic control. That's something I need. And deployment type should be in place. EC2 tag filter. Okay, interesting. So, but I don't set this at all. I mean, I know I cannot do just in-place deployments directly on ECS, right? So let's look at this. Let's try to find something. GitHub, AWS CodeDeploy, ECS CloudFormation. I'm looking to find a good example of this on GitHub, and there is this template. Let's have a look. Deployment pipeline. Okay, cool. So how does CodeDeploy look here? So that's just the pipeline. Okay, CodeBuild pipeline, and okay, this doesn't use CodeDeploy. It uses CodeBuild. Pipeline has the build, and the deploy is actually using deploy. Ooh, interesting. So configuration, cluster name, service name, interpret artifacts. Oh, interesting. I don't even need CodeDeploy in this case. Is that the case? Okay, I may have done extra work here. So let me go back to my pipeline and see the deploy thing. Go back. So deploy provider. What is the provider here? Is ECS. Oh, interesting. Let's do this. Oh, this might be super small. So ECS configuration will be cluster name. So I need a few things here. I may not even need CloudFormation at all. Interesting. Not CloudFormation, sorry. I may not need CodeDeploy at all. So I need cluster name, service name, so cluster name. And I need file name. Do I need file name? What will this produce? Artifacts, images, JSON. Docker build, Docker push, simple app, image. Okay, images, JSON. Okay, cool. Images, JSON. Oh, file name. So when in doubt, look at GitHub. What is the name of my cluster? My ECS web app is the service, and the cluster is my Fargate cluster. My Fargate cluster. My ECS web app. Like that. Yeah. Okay, cool. We might be able to do this without even using CodeDeploy. Now, this may be just so simple to do it. I may have over-engineered my idea. So this would be good. So let me find CodeDeploy. CodeDeploy. I'm just going to completely remove this thing right now. I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to act like this doesn't exist. Like this, and then move on. Okay. This might be really cool. Okay, configuration is that. Now, one of the things I need to set up here is on code build, I need to make some changes. So my build output artifact is build output. That's fine. It's okay. Now I just have to make changes to my BuildSpec file. Now BuildSpec file is going to actually be in my application repository. So I guess I can go to CloudFormation. This has been deleted, I think. It's gone. Yeah, let's try to deploy this thing. Or actually, let's cfn lint it. Okay. So I'm doing everything from scratch now. Well, not everything from scratch. I'm removing CodeDeploy. In this case, I'm going to be using something else. So I'm going to use the native built-in functionality of ECS to deploy to itself. It's simpler. You can do it through CodeDeploy, but it will require a lot more re-architecting of this template, and I don't want to waste all of our time to do that. So we want to finish this at one point and have a application ready. Okay, what's wrong? Okay, something is wrong. What could it be? Come on, refresh. Kaniri, that's actually, I mean, 2 years working in dash force. Would that work? No, it wouldn't. I mean, I don't think that doesn't exist, right? Am I crazy? Okay. Near 2 years with AWS is pretty valid, right? A lot of people are like on their first year of AWS. You know, you can learn a lot. I mean, I've been working with AWS for 5 years now, so it feels like a long time, but you know, I did learn a lot. And it also depends on which area of AWS you're kind of focused on. What is the thing that you are working most commonly with? So. Feels like an eternity, absolutely. I mean, you can imagine how different AWS was in 2015, right? How many different services or lack of services were there in 2015? That's true. It makes you feel like a beginner because there's always something new happening. This is why you should hard code availability zones to your subnets, because sometimes they get launched in the same subnet. No, home, go back. Exactly. So a lot of times when we had new services released at AWS, we're like, okay, what is this now? What? So yeah, it can get daunting. Is there a good example how to do sub-availability zones? Let's try that. AWS CloudFormation subnet AZ. You can do fn get AZs. That would be cool. Yes, so this is a great example. Fn select get AZs 0. Okay. Instead of purely hard coding things into this thing, I will do it like that. Every other week. Could you do that in a cron expression? Because I know, like, if you do like maintenance windows in what is it, in AWS Systems Manager, you can actually specify a proper cron job expression. So if you do the things, but not sure if that would work for you. Okay, roll back, delete. Ah, simple. Okay, yeah. Maybe. So what is the CloudWatch event trying to do? Is it triggering something? But it triggers like a piece of code, right? Or does it, let me rephrase that. Does it, what it triggers, is it some sort of a, okay, so maybe the code can check if it is an other Monday, right? You can add some more logic in some, you increase the complexity, of course. But if it triggers it every Monday, one of the things it can do, it can set a flag somewhere or a state somewhere or something, something to use to understand it. Is it actually the Monday it should be doing it? It's unnecessary CPU cycles, but you know, sometimes that's what you have to work with. Okay, let's see if this will work. Just to explain what I just did, for anybody who's watching. So I've actually, the problem I had was that my subnets were being created in the same availability zone. If you do not define availability zone as a property on CloudFormation, it will choose a random availability zone in that region. The problem is that it can select the exact same one. So to go around that, you can use the fn get azs function that will get you all the availability zones, and you can use the fn select to select one of those items coming back. So in this way, for my first subnet, I selected the first AZ it comes back, and for my second subnet, I selected the second subnet that comes back. So I will make sure that I use two different subnets. I am not hard-coded subnets, so basically I can use this same thing in a different region without having to define EU West 1 or EU West 2. So this would be the proper way to do this. Okay, this is still working. That's positive. Okay, this is positive. Very good. So create complete, load balancer. We're just waiting for other resources to complete, and the other resource is actually the load balancer. Load balancers take a while because load balancers are actually being created somewhere, I guess, as some actual hardware, not hardware, but virtualized things. Yeah. Yeah, this is a great way to do it. You will make sure that you get the proper AZs set up and not get double AZs, because most of the times it's gonna work. But for example, it failed to create my load balancer before because load balancer had two AZs, both two subnets both in the same AZs, and that's not possible on load balancers. What? Why did you fail? Target group does not have an associated load balancer. Target group ARN. Really? This is gonna be listener, load balancer. Aha. So this is gonna be another hello, new power. This is gonna be another race condition. I am pretty much sure that this is gonna be another race condition, but it depends on my load balancer. So here's the thing, Kanir, it will not fail because there's no AZ with ID 1. The thing with fn select, it selects an item from the list. Now it depends on how many AZs it returns. If it returns a single AZ, the second one will not work. But even if it returns, no matter which is the name of the AZ, it will return just the first one and the second one from the list you get back. So this should work. So target group ARN. Does not have a load balancer associated with here. Hey, Nupar. Well, you can see up there, basically we're building the CI/CD pipeline. Well, we have finished the CI/CD pipeline and ECS. Now we're trying to make it all work together. We're working now on integrating the deployment process. So instead of using CodeDeploy, like we did last time, we're actually going to use the built-in functionality from ECS to deploy. So I'm not using the CodeDeploy as a provider for deployments. I'm using ECS here. So, and now I have run into some race conditions when it comes to load balancers and target groups and something weird. So it's not the best thing in the world. So, okay, let me try this again. this will, Mr. New Power, this will most likely be the last stream on this topic. I hopefully am going to be able to finish this, what I want today. So what I'm trying to do right now is actually finish successfully deploying this, and then yeah, wrap it up. But it's going to take a while, so we're not there yet, so don't worry. Okay, this looks fine. So let me go here, and I'm going to remove the force. I'm going to do 6 because why not? Thank you very much. I appreciate the feedback. That's what I try to do, right? I try to help, educate, maybe people learn something. So, and I'm having fun doing this, you know. So, by the way, I'm not sure. I always repeat this from time to time, just so I'm very transparent here. I work for AWS, right? So this is sort of my job, right? To do these things. So just so you know, if I have any bias towards AWS, it's most likely because I work there. But I genuinely do think that these tools are great, and I also complain when they're not. So be sure of that. I think it's very important that you guys are in the clear about me doing this from within AWS. I actually have some folks on YouTube. That's very cool. There are 3 people watching on YouTube, 3 people on Twitch, 6 people in total. Oh, cool, New Power. That's very cool. Did you started learning something? Did you go to take some course or something like that? Yeah, it's the music is actually coming from YouTube. So it's from a YouTube music library. So I cannot hear it at all. I'm listening to some other music, but I picked eventually some synthwave relaxing music to be in the background noise. So is this created thing? Really? We had Sonic? Oh, yes, I know why. I remember now why. Because yes, I understand now. Okay, it may be some music that I didn't even know it was there. I've actually bought some music from one gentleman named I forgot his name. PopSky. Yes, Mr. PopSky. PopSky has like a Bandcamp account where you can buy his music, and he told me that, well, he told everybody on Twitter, like, if you buy his music, you can freely stream it and all that stuff. So yes, I do have like 9 tracks of his music called from an album called City of Neon, which is kind of gaming-ish music. So I hope it's not too distracting. So yeah, cool. Linux Academy has great courses. I've actually taken, when I did my associate, I did A Cloud Guru, so that was a pretty good thing for me. Cool, it works now. Excellent. So we should have things ready to work here. So going to code pipeline. Of course, it's gonna fail because it doesn't exist, but we're gonna have a deploy action to ECS. Perfect. Now let's go back to this thing. We don't have to change anything on CloudFormation for now, but one of the things we need to do is go to our web app, cd web app here. Okay, so we are actually gonna make a BuildSpec file. So BuildSpec YAML. A BuildSpec file is a thing, I mentioned this, but it's a file that explains to CodeBuild what it should do. So we're telling CodeBuild, hey, run these tasks, execute these commands for a successful build. And I found a great example here what we should enter. So again, I picked it up. I'm going to explain what these things are. That. So cool. We're doing a when it comes to BuildSpec, we need to do a few things. The BuildSpec goes by phases. So we have pre-built, build, and post-built phases, and this is where we define a couple of commands. The first command we run is AWS ECR get login. So this gets you a login string to be used in ECR. Then we tag our code build image. Basically we tag our code build resolve source version. We create a tag for our image. We define an image URI, and this is basically gotten from environment variables. The build thing is basically running Docker build with that specific tag. And last but not least, in the post build, we're running Docker push to push this thing that we have currently built into the image URI, into the ECR repository. And last but not least, we're defining an images.json file, which is a simple JSON file we later on pass to the deploy part of the pipeline to say, hey, in this JSON file, it's basically we have a name of our application and our image URI. So we are gonna do that right now. We need to change a few things. I just want to make sure that simple app is, what is simple app? Here. Okay, container name. Okay, it's gonna be in. I need to change the container name. Okay, let's go back here. Container. Stream container definition. Okay, that's gonna be our simple app thing. Okay, so simple container. Not simple. No. What is it? Stream container definition. Okay. So, how did you register credentials when you did Docker push? So here's the thing. I am gonna be using so CodeBuild will have permissions to push to ECR. So I need to do that as well. I have not finished that, but one of the aspects of CodeBuild is that you can attach a specific role. So if I do CodeBuild, so I have a role here that has certain permissions. The policies it has is just to do a lot of things with S3 and CloudWatch. Now I need to add permissions for CodeBuild to access ECR. Now with this permission available on the CodeBuild step, it's going to be able to push those things up to CodeBuild. So I don't need to basically get any credentials from some other place. So it should be available straight from here. Okay, this should be fine. But now let's do this. Let's go back to this example here. Templates. I want to see this. There are a few things I need to pass. We can see a code build service role, logs, get authorization token. So this is the thing I need, right? I need these actions. Statement. So now one of the things I need to do is I need to set some environment variables to my code build thing. So this is actually done through environment. Is it? Actually, the code build project, yes. So project. Okay, environment. Now I need to define environment variables. Environment variables on CodeDeploy are very powerful because we can do a lot of things, right? I can do name and value, and by changing these things here, I pass these on directly into the execution of CodeBuild. So if I have a look here at a couple of things I'm passing in, repository URI. Now, I've done this already. Sub. Yes, so. Okay, this should be fine. I'm passing this thing. Image URI is being built by itself. Oh, sorry. Darko wave. What's meaning? Wave by. See you, Dennis. He's waving back, so he's leaving. Thank you, Dennis, for being here. So this should be good. Now we have this, this, and this. I think this should help us do things. Okay, let's try to update this template now. So if I go back to, no, not that. If I go again here and do AWS deploy. What did I do? CFN length. Okay, 270. Okay, this should be fine. It's good. Okay, something's wrong. Invalid property, environment variable. Up. Okay, that should be okay. And what else? My VP1 is not 424 GG. My VPC. I've had Butterfingers. Let's try again. Property value missing. What did I do wrong? Name and value. Is it okay like that? Name, value. You're missing your property value missing at resources 213. Oh, value image. There we go. Okay, let's once again. Perfect. Let's deploy. See if this works. Update is in progress. We should basically just be changing something in the pipeline, nothing too much, the code build role, and we're changing the code build project, so it should be a relatively fast change. One of the things I'm really missing is from this to kind of show me more information while it's doing, so I don't have to go to the AWS CloudFormation console, but it's the CLI doesn't support that as of yet. So okay, update is complete. Now if I go to code this thing, if I go to code build, I will just, okay, no, it should be fine. Okay, so I think now this just may work. So one of the things I need to do is I need to do CFM. Okay, web this one. Let's add BuildSpec YAML. This looks fine. Okay. So I need to add this code now to my code commit repository, right? Can I do it to, what would be the best way to do it? Git credentials. GRC would be more simple. Is this? It would be git remote code commit. I think I have this. Pip install git code commit. Okay. Then let me create another repository here. Let me go back and clone this. Does this work? Okay, cool. So cpr, then web app, and then cfn stream repo. Okay, git add all, git commit genesis. Okay, that's fine. Git push. Is it main or master? What's my git push origin master? Okay, we need to change that. Okay, so we have pushed some code here. If I refresh this, there is code. Now, what has happened right now, I pushed code and my code pipeline should actually have detected this, that something has happened. So in a few minutes, I think this execution, or a few seconds, this execution should be triggered. Hopefully. It does understand which pipeline it is, right? Pipe execution. Yeah, that's fine. Source action. Wait for this. Ah, okay. Wait. No, I need to check a different branch. Git, because I didn't want to use master branch. Git checkout be main, git add, git commit. Yeah, exactly. That's a great point, Kanir. So branch change, git push origin main. Okay, so now a new branch will be created in code commit. So if I go to repos here, and to find this one, I have master and the main branch. Perfect. Now this will be triggered now because something has happened into the main branch. Maybe, sometimes, at one point. I can wait, I can just retry. Maybe this won't work. Okay, something's happening. Will it succeed? Okay, excellent. So it has picked up those things. Now it's in CodeBuild. If I go to CodeBuild, I will actually be able to see what's happening here. And in the build details, we actually have a log file here that we can look into. Now, what is happening here? It's currently in the download install, so fine. The log should be, okay, so we see that it's entering phase install, succeeded, so it's running CLI, login has been succeeded, build has failed. Okay. Okay, why did not... Cannot connect to Dr. Daemon at one rocket. Is Dr. Daemon running? Okay, we need to do something else with CodeBuild. Okay, CodeBuild Docker. Let's see what is the thing we need to set up for CodeBuild and containers. I think I have it somewhere opened. Let's find this. CodeBuild Docker. That's all the permissions I need to set up. CodeBuild standard, build general, that's all fine. It couldn't find Docker. Why can't you find Docker? I'm using the general image. Am I not doing something? Build Linux container, build 1 general small, standard 1.0. Do I need to use a different version of Linux? Oh, 4. Okay. Let's find what's the latest version of the image. So if I look at my projects, I'll just gotta create well, check a project. So managed image, Amazon Linux, runtime standard, and the image is 3.0. Okay, then let's use 3.0. It could be the case that this is a very old thing I've used here. Save like that. Let me go here. Actually, no. This. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna update my code build to use the latest image now. So, and hopefully, so it has failed here. Now let's wait for this change set to be completed while I finish my coffee. Okay, update is complete. Let's kick it off again. Let me refresh this. I want to retry, release the change. I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to pick up again the same last, it's going to pick the last commit. It's going to take it through the entire, source phase, then to the build phase, and we will have a look at code build. Why is it, what's happening? So let's go to the details. So phase details are currently provisioning, reports. ECR login. Successful. Failed. Okay. Cannot connect to Dr. Daemon. Why don't you work? Cannot connect to Dr. Daemon. Is a Dr. Daemon running? Okay. Should I set this up? Oh, maybe I need to enable the privilege thing. Oh, that's the thing. So I think this is a learning experience now. So when you set up, yes, you need to enable privileged mode. So in order to, because here's the thing, CodeBuild runs in a Docker container, right? So for this to work, you need to enable privileged mode. So if I go to CodeBuild and project, like this, where is it? It's environment and environment. Yeah, Dockerception. Basically, I need to give it the privileged. That's how you type it. Privileged mode. I need to set up basically true, right? True. If I don't set this up, it will not work because if you're having Dockerception here, you need to enable privileged mode for it to be able to run Docker within Docker. So yeah, this is what's happening right now. This is why it has failed. So it's not even the old version. I've completely forgot about this, and I've talked about this a few times before. But okay, live and learn. So, and by the way, this entire code is going to be available on GitHub. I've already made it available on GitHub. last time. So maybe I can copy paste the thing there. Let me try to do something. GitHub. That is the repository where I don't have the current version of the code because I have not yet committed it, but it's there. Excellent. So refresh, release. Now let's do it. Let's have a look at the details. Okay, perfect. We get something. Okay, we see pulling FS layer, so Docker build is actually working. So it's building our Docker image. Checksums complete, and we have a whole bunch of lines here showing up. Okay, cool. It's installing, so now it's building the actual image. Preparing all the stuff. Now it's pushing. So it's pushing this thing to my repository. Stream web app. Pushed. And it should output a image.json file. And that image.json file is going to be picked up by the pipeline and the ECS deployment procedures. Excellent. So string container definition, image URI, image.json, perfect. Succeeded. Okay, excellent. So this has been successful. Now this will switch to green in a moment or so, hopefully. Okay, it has succeeded. Perfect. So Sonic is happening again. Is it annoying? Should I change it? I wish I can control that. Like, it's actually using VLC to do that. So okay. Cool. We are on the deploy. It only improves things. Excellent. Perfect. Let's see the ECS deployment details. Is this working or not? So ECS this thing. Okay. Deployments. So there is a deployment. I think it has finished. I want to just make sure. Yes, it has succeeded. But we will need to change one thing. We need to go back to our CloudFormation thing again, because if we look at desired capacity, desired count is actually 0. So we need to do at least, let's do 3 containers. Why not? Save it. So what have I done here? When I've launched this for the first time, I kept my desired capacity at 0 because there are no containers to be launched, and basically my service would fail to launch because it tries to launch images, but images don't exist. So I have to set the desired count to 0. And then once this image is actually available in ECR, I can set this up somewhere. So I've bumped up the ECR count, desired count to 3 right now. I am gonna change here, deploy this thing, and if I go to ECS here and our repositories, you will see that I have a repository here called stream. Is it this one? It's this one, yes. CDK. No, it's not this one. It's this one. So this is the one we've built. No, is it this one? No, this one. So stream web app. Yes. So we have the latest image here pushed right now, and our cluster that we have here can have one service, and we already updated. The pending tasks is 3. We have the desired set running here at this thing. And how many tasks do we have running right now? we have 3 tasks running. So hopefully now, if I go back to CloudFormation and have a look at our outputs, we don't have any outputs. Let's have a look at let's find our Elastic Beanstalk, ELB. Not Elastic Beanstalk, Elastic Load Balancer, sorry. Load Balancer, let's find the one we created before. This one, and let's look at the DNS name. And if I open this, service temporarily unavailable. Okay, that's still fine. We have some containers running here. A listener is set to this. It's forwarding to stream CFN group on port 5000. There are no registered targets yet. It's using IP, so it should use IP here. Okay, let's see what did we do wrong. Task definition, service role, details, load balancer. This is the target group 5000 type containers. These are still pending. Okay. Or maybe they have not. How do you know in conditions you have to scale from 1 to 3? I don't. I just set 3 as a arbitrary thing. It currently doesn't scale. There's no automatic scaling of services. I've just set the number of services I wish to have, well, number of tasks to be 3. So that's about it. So okay, there are no tasks running here, so this could be some issue. Let's look at events as service task. Stopped tasks. Okay, something has happened with this task. It has failed for some reason. Cannot pull container. It cannot pull a container, really? Let me have a look at the task definition. What is the JSON? Stream web app. This is the correct image, yeah. These tasks are currently pending. They're not running. Why are they not successful? This is the correct image. It wasn't able to pull this image. DKCR, ECR, EUS1, stream web app. Image digest. Is it using the latest image? I would say so. So repositories. Stream web app. Okay, do I need to define the ID as well? Let me have a look. So deploy action, details. Let me look at these details on the deployment. If I look on service and then deployments. What is the images JSON I'm passing on? So the images JSON is going to be what is the image URI? How did we define the image URI? It's edit BuildSpec. The image URI is repository and tag. Okay, we define a tag by something. So we need to define image URI. Echo CodeBuild resolve source version. Let me have a look at this one here. This one. I can use the latest one, but that's not the best thing in the world. these tasks are still failing. And because they're failing, because they cannot pull the image, request cancel, timeout while waiting headers. Google. Okay. Internet connectivity. So, yes, subnets. It's always network. So if I go to VPC and check out my latest VPC, I want to make sure that my VPC has access to the internet. So the latest one, I think it should be this one. This is the one I've created right now. 2 subnets. Yep. So let me have a look at these subnets. Do they have auto-sign IP addresses? So if I have a look at auto-sign IP addresses, yes. So it's not good. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to CloudFormation again, reopen close tabs, and let's find the EC2 subnet. AWS subnet. So the problem here, it doesn't work because my subnets are all wrong. The containers that are being actually launched do not have public IP addresses set. So I need to do this. You need an active auto assign IP. So you need your containers to be able to access the internet, right? That's the thing. There are ways around it. You can set up VPC endpoints for ECR, but I have not done that. So, and it would be much complex to do that right now, straight from here. So I'm just gonna much rather just change this on CloudFormation or change my my template here. So if I cancel update stack like that, I'm gonna roll back because it has failed to launch the container. That's why it's in this bad state. So okay, let me go to this. Okay, let's see what happens here. Now the subnets should be updated. That's the most important thing. Correct, yes. So either give the containers public IPs or a VPC endpoint for ECR. So, I mean, understandably, the more secure thing would be to get the VPC endpoints for ECR. That would definitely be a good thing. The thing is, and hear me out when I do this. So I have not built this super optimized or super by the book from the start, because a lot of things I was doing here I didn't know. Like I really didn't know how to do certain things. I was reading documentation. So when you do templates, when you do cloud infrastructure as code, you build things with a very simple, rough way initially. Then you kind of smooth out the edges, right? So exactly, it takes a lot more code for you to do that, but it's important to do that as well. So Perfect. So it has a private IP, but it doesn't have a public IP. Why not? It's running in this subnet here, and this subnet should launch 05 thing. Okay, it should get its. Okay, I may need to set up my containers to have public IPs. So if I go to, where is it? This, not CodeBuild, but let's do ECS task definition, I guess. Network mode should be AWS VPC. Then container definition. Okay, it has failed. If I refresh this, it's still pending. I wanted to try to launch it again because the new ones should really be getting IP addresses, because the last ones will fail or will be stopped due to the fact that again, the same thing, cannot, it's timed out, so it doesn't have, basically doesn't is not able to access it straight from the bat. So let's still try to do this. I'm wondering, is there something I'm not doing? So if I go to public, okay. Maybe my subnets are just bad, but let's wait. Okay, provisioning, fine. They still don't have public IPs. The subnet does need an internet gateway, and I do believe it has an internet gateway. So if I go to route table, it should go to this one. Yeah, I have a gateway. So that is something I've set up. But if I go to here, it's auto signed. That's all good. It allows everything, right? Yeah, my ACLs are good. This is a good ACL. See, it creates. I just need to check this out. So I need to go to here, and this is a good thing. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Route table is good. That's fine. Okay. Let me just do something like this. ECS Fargate. Okay. Okay, task definition, network mode. Okay, I'll check this out. So going back here to the ECS cluster, then it's using Fargate. Okay, AWS VPC configuration. There we go. Network configuration, it's somewhere here. Assign public IP. And I'm gonna bitch until the end of the lack of consistency. It's here, we set to enabled instead of, for example, true, right? It's a boolean. Why now? Why all of a sudden we do enabled? Okay, security groups, do I do? No, I don't need security groups in this case. Do I? I think I should be fine, right? Actually, let's create another security group here. Just so we can use this for something else. Bam. My ALB security group, let's do my for tasks and public subnet specify enable for, yes, exactly. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So I've enabled that. The only thing I'm gonna do it should be 5,000 to 5,000. Egress is, I'll just do that. 5,000. Just why not? Cool. My security group. Let's change something here. SG for Fargate tasks. Okay, and let's do one more thing here. I need to do security groups. And then do like this. Ref my Fargate. Perfect. Excellent. Let's just go back to CloudFormation, and this is again still an update in progress because it cannot launch. So I need to go and cancel the stack update because it cannot launch the stack fully because the Fargate tasks will not initiate. So it failed. Let me just wait for it to roll back. By the way, today's streams, I really expected it's going to be much shorter. Like, oh, I just need to wrap up and this should be fine. It's not going to take 2 hours. It takes 2 hours. Yeah, it's very much fun. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, again, like I appreciate you guys coming to this stream and chatting with me and doing this together. I basically that's why I do it, right? So there we go. Good music, good coding. Excellent. The rollback in progress. Still trying to finish this. I do this again. Oh. Ooh. VPC ID. Something's wrong. 406. Nope. Did I do something wrong? No? All good? Yep, I see it now. How does this work? Mapping values are not allowed here. Okay. Did it change this? Okay. Oh, hey David, that's fine. My name is Darko, so yeah, I'm Rob12, so that's fine. VPC ID, it's a string, but I have it as a string. Ref, that's fine, okay. I can just do it like... Why Rob12? Nobody actually asked me that. So Rob12 is, oh, let me show you. So it's this. This as well, that's a bad image. So it's this basically. So it's a radio device I used in the army. It's a horrible old communist radio device I had to lug around while serving the army. I did it so many times. I hated it. It's very heavy, and yeah, it's RAP literally means radio uređaj prenosni, which means portable radio device. I mean, portable. It's literally a backpack, and it has a range of 12 kilometers. So there we go. That's RAP 12. I chose it once arbitrarily, like, hey, portable. It's everything but portable, I would say. Pocket size, yeah. So we once actually carried it on some, I wouldn't call it a mission, something we were doing, and the thing. I see the problem here. It's YAML for you, gentlemen. We were carrying it once on some task we had in the army, and it was so heavy, and it had like old batteries. Like it used big ass old nickel metal hydride or nickel cadmium batteries, which is horrible, right? They don't work they don't work for anything. And what? VPC ID. I think I'm good here. Am I good? So, and then basically what happened is that it was like the batteries would last only a couple of minutes, right? It was horrible, and we need to communicate with each other. And this was not so long ago. It was 2008. And basically what happens, we just took our phones out and we talked over the phone. So yeah. VPC ID, ref. Literally a couple of minutes it would last. It wouldn't last longer. It was that bad. You had a hand crank. You could just hand crank your stuff as well, but yeah, that's not the thing you would like to do. Oh, I find it. Properties, VPC, security group ingress, like this. Thank you. Yeah, a couple of minutes would last, and you can hand crank your batteries just to kind of give it more juice, to kind of talk more. There was like literally a hand crank on it, but it literally would last again a few seconds or minutes. You would keep on hand cranking, and when you have to like discuss with somebody where you should go and where they should go, it was a device of pain, and you had to lug it around with you. It was big. I'm actually looking to buy one. You can buy those now, like discarded on army surplus things in Serbia, where I come from. So I'm actually looking for to buy one just for the kicks, right? Okay, update security groups. Oh, I did something, but I didn't do it. So one more thing on this side that I've seen is this Security groups. Yes. Oh, I did it. Okay, perfect. No, that's fine. So back on this thing. Unboxing of that, yeah. Wow. You can smell the old things in it. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, I have a public IP address now. This looks a bit promising now. Looks a bit more promising. It still may not work, but maybe we get something else now. There are no details yet. Extra hosts. Yeah, well, let's see. It's still pending. Now it has its IP address, but apparently it's still not able to pull anything. So yeah, fingers and toes crossed. It has a security group, a proper security group here that is okay inbound, and maybe I should remove the outbound rules completely. Yeah, let's update that. I don't need the outbound rules technically here. So yeah, it has failed. Stopped. It's the same thing. No, this one didn't have a public IP. So provisioning, running. So let's find the ones that are stopped. Okay, it's not working. So let's go back here. Cancel update stack like that. So something I want to go here, and I want to do security. I want to remove egress. I don't need egress like this at all. That's fine. Do I need to set up egress things at all? Look at something. Security groups. Let's take this one. Outbound roles. Oh, okay. No, I need to. There could be something with security groups, I think. Let me just enable security groups. How can I do all security group egress? Okay, fair point. I think that's I would get a different error from that. I would get like, hey, it's broken, right? It doesn't work at all. So I would get like a denied error or something like that. So I think that's not the case here, but I will definitely check it out. So this is currently timing out. So I want to make sure that my security groups. I want to just see how this person did security groups. Ingress, service, security. I'll just remove these things completely for now. No. Do I like Golang? I've played around with Golang. I think Golang is a beautiful language. At least it looks very nice. I'm not very proficient in it to say a lot of things about it, right? So I think it's cool and it has potential, but I don't really know what to think about it too much. I like the fact that it's compilable, that you actually get a binary afterwards, that you work on Golang and you get the binary with all the things you have in it, compared to like doing it with Node and doing it with Python, where you kind of have to have all these dependencies around you. But with Golang, you have this big old binary that has it all with it. So I'm a fan of that. So, but I'm not an expert in it. And if Golang CDK support is gonna come, I believe there is already like a request for that. So yeah, okay, cool. We get something else. Ha! Web app latest not found. Perfect. There is no latest. So we need to provision something here. There's something on the task where it doesn't work. So let's have a look. Do we have a latest defined? We don't. I want to see something on CodeBuild. If I go to code pipeline or that. I wish I could. I would learn Golang, but I am not really. I'm not really that skilled in Golang as of now, right? So, and again, I need just time to work on it and understand it. But I do like it. What is images.json? I think I can see this file on S3. I want to see what we pass on to ECS. Yeah, so I like to get my errors at compile time, not on my during my execution, right? So what do we have here? I'm just looking at what are we passing. I actually downloaded this file from image URI like that, stream web app, and we're passing on this one. And why is it trying to launch the latest one? I really don't know. So let's go here, refresh. It's provisioning, pending thing. Deployments. Maybe I can try to redeploy. So let me go ahead to code pipeline and run the deploy thing again. So I can release the change. Maybe this helps. Because for some reason, so here's what the problem is right now. So our tasks are able to pull the image, or actually are able to reach the container. But one of the things that it gets here as an error is, if I look at the stop ones, the problem is it cannot find this one, web app latest not found, right? But it should not look for latest. It should look for the one with a special ID in it. It should look at the one with this ID. So it's stream web app and this ID here. So let's see how this goes, because we're generating those specific IDs. We're not using the latest one. We're generating specific version strings, because that's how you should do it. So let's see if our code thing deploys. It's currently building, so we should have a new image here in our repository. So we currently have only one. We have this one with this ID, or image tag, sorry. In the meanwhile, I want to just do something here. ECS images, ECS deploy. Okay, name, container name, and URI. Okay, repo latest. Okay. So this is fine. We're passing the correct things here. Let's see. Is this finished? Okay, there's a new deployment happening, or no? There is this thing, and then deployment. There's another deployment here with this new ID, and that's the latest one. Yes. So going to tasks here, and I have a look at these tasks. It's currently attempting to do things. It's using this one. Task definition name, task action role, task size, task placement, container definition, and it's using. Do I see what are the images? Where do I see an image? Here. It has the correct one here. Okay. Oh, very good. Okay, it works. Ah. We have two tasks, with three tasks running, so another deployment was important to do here. Now, if I refresh this, maybe it works. Hey! We made it work! After all this time. Excellent. Wow, perfect. So now our deployment should be successfully completed. Yeah, we see, well, it's still update in progress. That's fine. It's going to come back to it at one point. Now, we can see here that we have successfully deployed this application now on AWS ECS. We have created a pipeline here called this thing. So the pipeline takes your code from your code commit repository. In that code commit repository, you have a Docker file. You have your web application, which in my case is just a simple Python Flask application. The code build part actually takes that code, takes that Docker file and all the code application, and makes it into a Docker image and uploads it to ECR, or the Elastic Container Registry. Then finally, the deploy action actually deploys that thing to ECS. And if I would, for example, if we would go to ECS right now, we will see that currently we have we have a Fargate cluster, so our containers are running on Fargate, so technically they're serverless. There's one service with three tasks. There's three tasks running on this one, as you can see, and those tasks are all sitting behind the application load balancer. So our application load balancer, when I refresh this, is actually routing the traffic, or actually hopping the traffic between different containers in this case. Now, in order to change my application, or to basically update my application, this is going to be stuck here for a while, I guess. Now, in order to update my application here, the only thing I need to do here is I go to my repository here, change my app file, and introduce, instead of hello stream, and say goodbye stream, right? Like that. I close this down, git add app, git commit goodbye, git push origin main. Now, what's going to happen now, again, it's going up to code repository. It's going to be picked up automatically, hopefully, automatically by my pipeline. Once that is done, it's going to build a completely new image. Once that image is built and pushed to ECR, it's going to be deployed to ECS. So I'm going to try to wait to see if this works, finally. Now the source action here, it should actually be executed by... Just want to make sure that this, how is this set up? Branch pull for, it doesn't pull for changes, that's fine. There is... It should kick off automatically, I think, if I configured it correctly. But let's not wait for that. I'll release the change. It picks up my latest commit. Then it's going to go to CodeBuild, and let's have a look at how this works. Build details. Build details. and let's have a look at what's going to happen here. So yeah, it should actually do it automatically. So what happens is when I push my code to code commit, code pipeline detects that there's a commit or it receives a CloudWatch event. It pulls the code from that latest commit, pulls it into the pipeline. It pulls it, then takes that artifact into this thing, right? Into CodeBuild. CodeBuild builds the latest image and then deploys, and then it goes back to the pipeline for deployment. Oh, okay, a pull request. Well, so that's a different thing. So pull requests, if I go to my repository again here, and I basically make a pull request here, right? If I make a different branch and make a pull request, like again, I've done this with code commit, but you can do the same thing with GitHub. I could have just used GitHub instead of code commit here, but it will also go through the same pipeline as long as there's a commit to the main branch. This entire thing should go through, right? So if you would make a change to your so for a feature branch and then make a pull request merge to the main branch, as soon as there's a commit in the main branch, the pipeline picks it up and pushes it through the build and the deploy phases. So if I would go here, one of the things you will see that there are new containers now pending. They are being spun up. These ones contain the latest version of the image, at least they should. So as soon as these are fully up, the other ones will be taken down, and we will be starting serving the new version of our application. So, and this is still updated in progress. This is a weird thing when it comes to the service. It sometimes takes so long. I mean, it's actually waiting for the service to be online, but it is. But that's okay. So let's just wait for this thing to kind of finish up. Perfect. Now it's going to drain the old ones. So all of a sudden you will see that the old tasks should be stopped, because we want to have only 3 tasks running. And then later on, after that, the ones that are the older version are going to be taken away. So if it's saying hello stream now, if I refresh this, after a while, see, I get a goodbye stream as well here. So I've actually updated this application and it works. You're welcome, sir. You can use RAW3, absolutely. So this is currently using a generated URL from Elastic Load Balancer, but you can absolutely use Route 53 for your own domains. I could have done that as well in this thing. I have a domain, Route 53. I have a domain set up here, or a hosted zone that I could have used for something like, I don't know. I have my ROP 12, right? There we go. So I could have used this to kind of force or forward my traffic via an actual DNS name, but I didn't get to that. So I think now we see most of them are goodbye, because if I go back here and refresh, we have to register those things from the load balancer, but they're gonna soon be removed from here as well. Excellent. Well, I'm happy. So let me go back to this, save this. I want to just clean up some things here. Go down. There's a few things I've added that I don't need. This thing I can remove. Yes, these things. Remove. Oh, and also the entire CodeDeploy part. I don't really need CodeDeploy. Perfect. Forward. There is a CodeDeploy. What did I do? No. Okay, so I don't need this role, so I'm going to remove this role. I'm not using it anywhere, so I don't need that. Save that. Perfect. There is nothing CodeDeploy here anymore. Excellent. So git add all git. That's fine. Git commit or actually git rm. I want to remove this. Git commit stream finish it. And I think this should be good now. Yes, so ignore this repo. I'm gonna clean this up, but basically the template is the current one. So if you're interested in having a look at this, it's available on my GitHub repository, which I've shared before. And I'm gonna also, because I'm gonna put this video on YouTube, it's gonna be also in some description or somewhere present, somewhere available. And yeah, we've made this work, apparently. This is very cool. So, excellent. Perfect. Cool. Once again, thank you everybody for joining me on this streaming series. I had so much fun. The next Let's Code series is going to be, I think I'm going to do CDK next time, so it should be even more fun. Thank you for sticking around for these. It was basically 7 or 8 hours almost. So expect a new version of Let's Code to come soon. I'm not sure when I'm going to start it, but in the next couple of weeks. But I'm gonna also keep doing my regular AWS streams on some topics, some service-specific topics. No Power and Kanir, thank you very much for making me company today. I appreciate it, and everybody else who's on stream also. Thank you very much for being here. Again, my name has been Darko Mesaros, and I hope I'll see you next time. I think my next stream is gonna be on Tuesday, so see you Tuesday. Bye bye.